We see kids coming to us that are struggling and have been struggling for a really long time.
And in the beginning, it was really rough because nobody understood how my dyslexia worked for me. So I constantly felt like I wasn't doing something right.
The issues aren't necessarily that they can't comprehend what they're reading, it's that they literally can't read the passage that's on the test.
We knew what we were doing wasn't working.
I originally felt like I wasn't good enough to do it, and it made me feel bad.
It's kind of the whole definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over again and think you're going to get different results. Well, we can't do the same thing over and over again in this country because our students are struggling.
All over the world, we have kids who are struggling to learn, and we have teachers who need to be equipped with the necessary skills to help these kids.
We realized very quickly that our teachers had good hearts and they wanted to do the right things, but they didn't have the tools they needed to be successful in the classroom.
I look back at when I was a teacher, what I could have done differently. If I had known better, I would have done better.
I know I had to fly across the country to get the training, and I would do it all over again.
And I thought, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna see what it's about. But my mind was blown with the training.
It was mind-blowing.
It just totally blew me out of the water because I got so much information that I can use with my students and readily implement it the next week.
In a week, I feel like I learned more about reading instruction than I learned in 6 years of higher education.
When I did start to get Orton Gillingham, it definitely helped.
We've all been saying for how many years that this is what we need to be focusing on in our classrooms.
We want everybody to understand that structured literacy or Gillingham, it works for everybody, not just dyslexic kids.
And I don't know anyone who hasn't taken the training that hasn't come out just changed as a teacher and for the better.
Words like life-changing. Sorry. To talk with our teachers and hear them share the depth of emotion, how empowering the training was, how they can now see what it's going to mean in terms of a generational impact for kids.
This training was specifically about the reader. It was about empowering the children so they can tackle the reading.
Bringing this OG intervention is like, boom, the kids are transformed, the kids are learning how to read.
To give the student enthusiasm is one thing, but for the teacher to come in and then believe that she or he can help the student and has the understanding and the tools to help the student is an amazing gift that the Orton Gillingham training does give.
So when I look at my data, I'm looking at that red category of students that are more than 2 years below grade level. And when I look at every single grade level, that number has been cut in half. And that's not typical.
I've never seen this happen before, and I've been an educator for 30 years. I have never seen a child grow 3 grade levels in 1 year.
I was fascinated by how quickly I saw results for my students.
For me, the biggest thing, hearing a child say, I can read, brings tears to my eyes.
With OG and us implementing it starting in January until this May, we had 53% of the kids that were able to gain enough that they were able to exit interventions completely. And that's just OG.
I work with the lowest of low in kindergarten and first grade, and I saw tremendous gains this year. It was probably my best year of intervention ever.
When we first started the school year, 52% of our students were on grade level in reading. Now 82% of our students are on grade level in reading. We had 11% of our second grade students that were 2 or more years behind. Now we're down to 1% by the end of the year. And that is really exciting for me.
Within the first 3 months, my students were moving up grade levels. It's and usually you don't see that type of growth until after a full school year.
So 26% of our kids grew 4 spelling stages, and 12% grew 5 spelling stages, which is unheard of. I've never seen that from prior years.
I'm super excited about what we've done here in just a year. It did not take long, and you just can't argue with the results.
The teachers are growing in confidence, the students are growing in confidence, and because of that, all the data is rising.
We're starting to see behavioral impacts from them being empowered to be able to be successful in the classroom.
I think the biggest impact has been hope.
It is changing lives one student at a time.
You know, and seeing their little faces like, I know this. That's pretty cool.
Now, school is basically a breeze.
This is something that's directly impacting our students.
Every student that walks in my classroom should be able to have this quality instruction.
As a teacher at a public school, I just didn't think this would ever be something I'd be able to do because of the cost.
It was so expensive. So I had to keep waiting and hoping until I finally found RCF.
Having an organization like this that is making this mission to not just train teachers to help dyslexic students, but to train teachers to help all students is so important.
It is so important for people to continue to, help this organization because it really is making a difference.
You can donate a laptop, that's great, but being able to teach a kid how to read is priceless.
Look at the impact. This could impact everything from incarceration rates, employment, getting people off of government assistance. That affects everyone.
The work they are doing is powerful. It's not just supporting also people in the US, it's supporting people all over the world, including Africa. And I know that it's going to change a lot of lives.
I would like to say a very big thank you to everyone that has made it possible for us to get this training.
If this is expanded, I think is unlimited for the national and the world impact that it could have.
I don't think that a lot of people understand that it makes such a big difference long term, and it's not just can you read a book today in class, it's are you going to change the future?
So literacy is the key to everything. Instead of putting a Band-Aid on, let's fix it.